Hi Megan, my name is Aiden. I've been a YouTuber as a subscriber as well as a participant for almost 2.5 years. I'm going to reply to your video regarding the question that all trans people should ask before starting to transition. For my case, I knew from when I was really little that I was different, as most trans people experience too. And for my situation, when I was a kid, I actually didn't try to pass because I was just being myself. And there were a lot of people that were convinced that I was indeed male. And to be honest with you, I wasn't accepting of being trans because I thought I was just being myself. And I was offended when people were so convinced that I was a boy that they started calling me son and he and using male pronouns that I actually corrected them. And they were taken back by it, like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were a boy, or male. And so as I got older, of course I grew up at a time where being transgender was extremely taboo. I mean, people even being gay, and this is like the late 90s for me when I graduated high school. Being gay was considered a taboo because I grew up in an area where, even though it was a big city for the Midwest, it was still very controversial to come out as gay or come out as trans or whatever the case might be. I'm not going to say that there weren't a lot of closeted people. I mean, I don't think I was the only trans person there. I think that there were quite a few people that are trans that attended my high school but didn't dare come out because it wasn't at a time where it was the right time to come out. As I got older, as years went on, I realized that for me, if I didn't fully transition the most I possibly could, it would be either my life would be over, or I would have nothing but negative feelings and thoughts about myself, as if I'm just some slob just going through this earth like everybody else and not having any good positive self-esteem about myself. So I chose to do what I could to transition. And I really thought at first, could I pass without starting hormones or anything? And I thought, well, maybe on the exterior a little bit, but I was not blessed with a small chest, so I knew that was going to be difficult. And even though I haven't had any surgeries yet, because I'm still on hormones, I'm in the hormone phase still, because I have to lose weight before I can have chest surgery, etc. I chose to go ahead and try to go as far as I could hormonally because I knew physically, yes, I may try to pass, wear a binder, whatever the case I had to do, but sounding male was my problem. I sounded like a pre-adolescent, prepubescent kid. I didn't sound like an adult male, or even a teenage male going through any kind of puberty at all. So, plus I had to deal with the fact I don't want to menstruate every month. This is like the opposite end of what you've experienced most of your life. I was at the receiving end of what you wanted, and you were at the receiving end of what I wanted. So, of course, you understand that. So, I mean, it's not like you're going to judge me or judge anyone for desiring the other gender. My point is that I knew that I would not sound male if I had not tried to at least attempt hormones. At least up to a certain level where I'd feel comfortable and then stop shortly after having any kind of female surgery that I will eventually have. But my point is that I knew that I had to start hormones because I wanted to sound more accepted. I wanted to sound more like myself, and I didn't sound like myself. So when I started hormones, it was a great relief to finally go through that transition because finally I started getting people's attention regarding how serious I am about handling conflict and getting resolution and problem solving and just living day-to-day life like any other guy, And for the most part, it's worked really well. I still deal with a few people here and there that may question me or may question me by how they look at me. But the real true test for me is that I bank at a very small bank in a very, very small town. I mean, extremely small, like everybody knows each other. And to know that they don't question me directly about why I have coming in with facial hair and looking kind of disheveled sometimes on the first of the month when I get paid. Because they don't question me, I feel like they think it's okay too. I hope. But they don't, like, discriminate against me because I bank with them and I come in with a hairy face or whatever the case might be. So I think that if I can pass in a small town like that and at least not get confronted with weird questions or weird comments or why are you dressing like a dude, it's great. It really is. Or I can talk on the phone, or I can go out to lunch with someone and they can say, "Thank you, sir." You know, I'm like, "You're welcome." And I would say, "Thank you." And so it is important to ask those important questions regarding, can you really pass, and will you feel accepted of yourself if you're able to pass as much as you can. So that's my response. So thank you very much for posing that video, and it's really interesting, and just thank you. And welcome to YouTube.